Most people think intelligence is obvious. Good grades, fast answers, impressive facts. But psychologists keep running into a contradiction. The people with the most powerful minds often don't look intelligent at all. They don't stand out in the ways you expect. They don't play the part. And sometimes their behavior feels off, quietly strange, hard to read, even misunderstood. But what if those odd behaviors aren't flaws? What if they're signals? Subtle signs of a mind operating in a completely different mode. Today, we're uncovering the habits that researchers keep noticing in people with unusually deep intelligence. And one of them still doesn't have a full scientific explanation. You might be surprised how many of these feel familiar. First up, they externalize their thoughts. Highly intelligent people often talk to themselves. No, it's not because they're confused or lonely. It's because their mind is incredibly busy. Their thoughts don't move in straight lines, they branch, loop, and overlap. Speaking their thoughts out loud helps them organize this complexity in real time. It's a way to rehearse ideas, simulate conversations, and test their logic as they go. What looks like muttering to an outsider is actually mental architecture being built on the fly. For them, silence isn't always where clarity is found. Structure is. They're building a framework for their ideas, one spoken word at a time. Second, ordinary conversation drains them. People with deep intelligence crave depth the way others crave stimulation. Surface-level talk, like chatting about the weather or weekend plans, can feel repetitive and empty. It's not arrogance, it's a matter of wiring. Their brains light up when there's something complex to explore, a contradiction, a hidden pattern, a question without a clean answer. They don't necessarily seek more people. They seek better conversations. This natural inclination makes them very selective about who they spend their time with. They're searching for a connection that goes beyond the superficial. Third, their awareness runs unusually high. This is the one trait that psychologists still struggle to fully measure and understand. Highly intelligent minds notice details most people filter out automatically. A tiny shift in someone's tone of voice. A micro-expression that lasts just a fraction of a second. Subtle inconsistencies in a story someone is telling. It's like their perception operates at a higher resolution than everyone else's. But this ability comes at a cost. Their mind rarely goes quiet. It's constantly processing, analyzing, and connecting dots. The same hyper-awareness that makes them so intuitive and insightful also makes them mentally restless, which leads directly to our next point, and that is, they overthink. Overthinking is almost always labeled as a weakness, a sign of anxiety or insecurity. But in gifted minds, it's something else entirely. When they look at a situation, they don't just see one or two possible outcomes. They see countless branches. A whole tree of possible futures, hidden risks, and secondary effects that others might dismiss as unimportant. Their mind constantly runs simulations. It's not necessarily driven by fear, but by an advanced form of pattern recognition. Their brain doesn't stop at what is. It keeps asking, what if? And what follows? This constant exploration of possibilities is a hallmark of their deep processing. Because of all this, they tend to keep their circle small. This isn't because they dislike people. It's because they are fiercely protective of their energy. Highly intelligent individuals are often extremely aware of the emotional cost of their interactions. They instinctively know who drains them and who sharpens them. So they will almost always choose one meaningful connection over 10 casual acquaintances. They prefer solitude over forced social interaction. They choose depth over noise. This isn't isolation for the sake of being alone. It's a strategic conservation of mental and emotional resources. They're curating their lives for quality, not quantity, and when they do withdraw, they're not idle. What looks like daydreaming or just staring into space is often intense internal construction. They disappear into their thoughts to test ideas, design possibilities, and connect abstract dots that no one else sees. Modern neurology actually supports this. Studies on mind wandering show that it activates the very same brain networks used for creativity, long-term strategy, and innovation. So when they seem lost in thought, staring at the wall, they're usually working on something complex that you just can't see yet. Their quiet moments are their most productive ones. Finally, they question everything. Rules, traditions, assumptions. Highly intelligent people don't accept ideas just because they're popular or because that's how it's always been done. They accept them when they make logical sense. They aren't trying to be rebellious or difficult. They are driven by a genuine need to understand things from the ground up. This fundamental trait makes them incredible innovators and problem solvers. But it can also make them outcasts in systems that reward obedience over curiosity. They challenge the status quo not to disrupt, but to improve. So here's the truth: true intelligence isn't loud. It doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't always look confident, and it rarely fits the stereotypes we see in movies. More often, it looks like overthinking. It looks like a preference for solitude. It looks like strange habits and a quiet, focused intensity. Psychologists call many of these individuals the silently gifted. They don't need recognition. They don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Their brilliance lives internally in how they process the world, not in how they perform for it. And if any of this felt uncomfortably familiar, you might just be one of them. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the human mind. Most people think intelligence is obvious.